Look, I'll be honest with you, there's never been more information online available about how to lose fat. We've all heard the term calorie deficit. You can find calculators online for how many calories to consume each day. But ultimately, it's going to be your ability to deal with the ups and downs of life and not sack off the habit completely when something bad happens. You go through a breakup, you lose your job, you get really busy in your personal life, you go away on holiday, you take some time away, go to another country. That is when you have to get back to routine and get back to normal as quickly as possible. And this is where people typically fall off. The purpose of this video is, instead of just me shouting loads of information about fat loss and calorie deficit and more theory at you, I'm going to give you two key mindset tips that I've used with clients and things that I'll sit down and talk through with any person that I'm looking to work with to make sure that they're in the right position to actually stick with it long enough to see results. The first thing, and arguably the most important in my opinion, is finding your why. What does this even mean? It means that unfortunately everyone has the same goals. Everyone wants to lose a bit of fat, build a bit of muscle, tone up. That's not gonna cut it if you want to stay on track when something happens, right? When it's cold and dark, it's winter, and you've got to get up for the gym in the morning and it's the only time you can train. Is that tone up goal gonna be strong enough to keep you on track? I can tell you firsthand it's probably not gonna be. And what I would rather you do is just spend a bit of time sitting down and writing out on paper, or just thinking about visualizing where you want to get to and linking the habits that you're trying to build with what it's actually going to give you. What people want is the outcome associated with getting leaner and toned. So if you're watching this and you want to get a leaner physique and you want to feel more confident with how you look, link that to how you're going to feel and how is it going to benefit other areas of your life. So for example, I've seen this with clients. Someone loses body fat, feels more confident in how they look, and then from there they're more likely to apply for a new job that they've been putting off, ask their boss for a promotion. They're going to hold themselves with a bit more presence in team meetings, maybe improve their productivity at work because energy levels are better, you're sleeping better, your mood's better, you're carrying yourself with more confidence and more happiness around your friends, family, partner. Everyone can see you just elevate yourself in terms of all areas of your life. So as soon as you get yourself in the best shape of your life, I promise you that this will translate to these other areas. So you've got to find the reason why you want to start in the first place. What's your trigger for change? Because it's going to be difficult, that's the reality of it. There are going to be days where you're tired, you don't want to show up to the gym, you don't want to stick to your food, you just want to order takeout. And those are the days where you just need to think and visualize about the bigger picture of what's the benefit of me staying on track. So for me personally, it was an element of proving to myself I could do it. When I got in the best shape of my life, I then left the job that was making me really miserable to then pursue coaching as a full-time career and help others, people like you. If I hadn't got myself lean for the first time, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to do that. So there's a more example of and a more important trigger for change. For you, it may be finding a new relationship, going for a job, a promotion at work and getting a new career path. It could be anything. It could be being the best role model, the best father, the best mother, or whatever your situation is, linking it to these things we actually care about in the real world rather than just dropping a number on a scale is why you're going to stay on track. Secondly is managing expectations. So I'm always speaking to my clients around mapping out shorter and longer term goals. For example, is it realistic for you to expect to lose 10 kilos or 22 pounds in 1 month if you still want to go out and drink alcohol at the weekends with your friends? It's probably not realistic, right? Social media is going to lead you down this path of comparing yourself to other people or expecting rapid results because people are promising that you can lose all your belly fat in 1 week. I'm afraid it's not going to happen, right? So rather be honest with you. And I think the more you can be sensible around your expectations around how long it's actually going to take, the more successful you are going to be, because frustration is the difference between our expectations and reality. So if your expectations are way too high and they were never realistic in the first place, then you just set yourself up for failure. So I would recommend that you look at the next few months, if you're starting a fat loss phase, maybe expect it to take 6 to 12 months to drop a significant amount of belly fat. If it then happens a little bit quicker, even better. But if you go into it expecting it to drop off in 2 or 3 weeks, promising you now that won't happen, because I've never met a client with 10 kilos to lose that's lost it in the first 3 weeks. I'm afraid this magic does not exist. And if it does, it's probably not legal, okay? So make sure you are setting yourself up for success with managing those expectations, and then you can break the longer term goal into smaller chunks. So for example, for a 500 calorie deficit, it's going to be 1 pound loss per week or 0.5 kilos loss per week. You do that over 12 weeks or 3 months, that's 6 kilos off, 1 stone, 12 to 15 pounds off. And that's a really good target to aim for over a 3-month block. And then you can factor in things like diet breaks every 3 to 6 months, a holiday, a break from the normal routine, to break that bigger dieting phase that seems overwhelming into smaller, more manageable chunks. If you set these more realistic targets, you break the bigger goal into shorter term targets, and you then think about why you're even doing it in the first place. And all of this combined is going to lead you to have a lot more success with your dieting phase. On top of this, if you then basically are struggling on your own, you can then look at other forms of accountability. So cheeky plug, hire a great coach like me, or look at friends, family members, or anyone that can hold you accountable. Someone to go to the gym with, a training partner always helps. These are the real life scenarios that you need to put yourself in, and you are going to have to just go through these times of trial and error, challenging periods where you're just showing up and getting it done. And this is the reality of just getting in shape, essentially. I hope you found this no-nonsense approach to fat loss useful. Drop the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. See you soon.